Welcome to Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It, the podcast where we dive deep into the journey from vision to reality. I'm Kelly Jackson, your guide on this path of self-discovery, transformation, and intentional living. Here, we explore everything from mindset shifts and personal growth to spiritual alignment and entrepreneurship, sharing insights, stories, and actionable wisdom to help you live a life in harmony with your dreams. Every episode will dig into what it means to not only dream big, but to actually consciously create the life you envision. Let's turn your dreams into real life. Happy St. Patrick's Day, friends. I thought today would be the perfect day to riff on a fun but super deep topic, luck. You know that word that we toss around like confetti. She's so lucky. Wow, he got lucky. But today, I want to pull back the curtain on this idea of luck. Because is it really luck? Or is it something much deeper going on behind the scenes? And what if, just what if, the way we perceive luck in others is actually a mirror reflecting some of our own limiting beliefs or unseen inner work that we have yet to do? Ooh, I told you this was going to be a juicy one today. So, whether you're walking around in green and searching for four-leaf clovers, which I've done before, or you're just vibing at home, let's explore what luck really means and how it ties to energy and alignment and healing and perception. Okay, you ready? I'm ready. So, look, I'm going to invite you to stay open and playful and curious. And maybe you'll even spot some hidden beliefs that you didn't know were shaping how you view success, abundance, and other people's luck. Okay, let's dive in. So, what some people think luck is and what it might actually be. I think that's where we're going to start. What do we mean when we say lucky? Most people use this word luck when they see someone who seems to have things fall effortlessly into place. The career, the relationship, the house, the body, the money. But if we peek under the surface, what we often don't see is years of healing, energy alignment, mindset shifts, tears cried in private, and a whole lot of uncomfortable growth. I've posted this years ago. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It wasn't my words. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's meditation, shadow work, rituals, healing generational trauma. That part. You know, when we see someone's success or happiness and call it luck, we might be bypassing the real work that went into getting there. So here's the thing. When we call someone lucky, it can sometimes be a subtle way to disempower ourselves. Because if it's just luck, then we don't have to face our own resistance to doing the deep work. And trust me, as a holistic life and business alignment coach, I have seen this over and over. People doing years of inner work, finally aligning with their desires, and suddenly everyone's like, wow, you're so lucky. But what if it's not luck? What if it's alignment? What if it's the energetic and mindset foundation they built that finally clicked into place? Okay, so my question for you is this. Next time you find yourself saying someone is lucky, can you pause and ask, what might I not be seeing about their journey? And then even deeper than that, where might I be resisting my own path to alignment because I'm hoping for luck instead of leaning into the work? Sit with that one, friend. Now, let's go behind the scenes of luck and what people don't see. So if we talk about the behind the scene of luck for a second, because I love examples, and I want you to think of Oprah. I used to watch Oprah. I used to watch Oprah. I remember that. But I want you to think about Oprah. People say she's lucky to be so wealthy and influential. But if you know her story, you know that she endured a lot of trauma and discrimination and poverty and setbacks. And she did immense healing and vision work and stayed aligned with her purpose. And she took consistent action. Is that luck? Or is that radical alignment, determination, and growth? When we see someone's highlight reel, we miss the hours of therapy, the shadow work, the rituals, the hard frickin' choices to let go of people or environments that didn't align. And here's a truth bomb. Some people who look lucky have worked harder on their inner world than anything in their external world. Their energy, beliefs, and boundaries are in such alignment that luck is really just a reflection of the inner reality they've built. So instead of seeing luck, what if we saw alignment embodied? It's another way to look at it. If you've ever thought, they're so lucky, we've probably all thought that at some time or another about someone. They're so lucky. I encourage you to get curious. And look, that doesn't always have to be coming from a place of jealousy or like, they're so lucky, meaning they're lucky and I'm not, right? It doesn't always have to be coming from that place. You could be from a place of excitement, like, oh my gosh, they're so lucky. They're so lucky. Like, that's exciting. They're so lucky, right? So somebody goes on a game show and they win a car. Oh my gosh, they're so lucky. Look, I'm encouraging you to get curious. What energy, work, or alignment might they have cultivated that I'm not seeing? And how can I start that for myself? And this leads us beautifully into the next piece of this conversation: perception and projection. Perception and projection, and how what we label as luck may really be about what we are projecting. So let's talk about that. Perception, projections, and how we interpret luck. Now we're going to get into the juicy stuff, okay? This perception and projection, because how we see others, especially when we label them as lucky, often says more about us than them. And here is what I mean. If we're carrying subconscious beliefs like success is hard, good things don't happen to me, I'm not worthy of abundance, and then we're seeing someone else thriving, and that may trigger us. And instead of facing that uncomfortable belief, we may default to saying, well, they're just lucky. But what if that is a projection of our own fears and doubts or unhealed parts? Our perception creates our reality, and how we label others reflects our inner world. And if we believe that success takes struggle, then seeing ease in someone else might make us uncomfortable. And we'll label it as luck to avoid challenging our own belief system. But when we shift that perception and we see others' wins as proof of what's possible, well, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can live a life of ease and flow, if they got off the hamster wheel, if they are running their business and it's no longer hustle and grind, if they're living and running their business from a place of align and flow, it's possible. So instead of saying, well, they're just lucky, they just got lucky, well, let's shift that perception, see others' wins as proof of what's possible, and that's when our own luck starts to shift. Because it's not really luck, it's energetic alignment. And what if other people's luck is your mirror, showing you what you're capable of when you align fully? It's kind of exciting. So next time you think they're so lucky, pause and ask, what is this reflecting to me about my beliefs? And even better, how can I shift to see this as proof of what is possible for me too? And that is where the magic lives, my friend. How can I shift to see this as proof of what is possible for me too? Now let's talk about the truth about luck and how we can co-create luck through alignment, action, energy, and mindset. So often we will think of luck as something that happens to us. But in truth, we are active participants in creating the conditions for luck to show up in our lives. So let's dive deeper into this idea and what that might mean. First off, alignment creates magnetic energy. When you are truly aligned with who you are and what you want, you naturally become magnetic to opportunities that feel like luck. And it's not random. It's not a coincidence, right? It's that you are clear, intentional, and energetically available for what you say you want. I'm going to say that again. What feels like luck, it's actually that you are clear, intentional, and, pay attention, energetically available for what you say you want. Think about how many times you've been lucky when you were in a season of alignment, when your desires and your actions and your beliefs, like everything was just moving in the same direction. That is alignment at work. And it calls in the things that feel serendipitous and synchronistic. Two of my favorite S words. And alignment sharpens your focus, it heightens your awareness. So you actually see opportunities that you may have missed when you were out of sync. When you're out of alignment and you're focused on the things that aren't moving the needle, that aren't aligned with the bigger picture, the purpose, you're becoming perhaps consumed by external circumstances, let's say. Just you're like feel like you're putting out fires, things are happening in life and work and family and relationships, and you've lost your focus a bit. And you may be missing these opportunities. And so because you're out of alignment. And when you are in alignment and things are flowing, this is what we're talking about. And that alignment does create this magnetic energy, and it feels really good. Now, I want to reflect on this idea that action opens the door for luck to enter, because luck loves action takers. Basically, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, right? And likewise, you can't stumble into lucky breaks if you're not out there creating momentum and movement in your life. And sometimes the luckiest moments come right after we have taken a leap of faith or tried something new. Because action puts you in new places around new people and creates new experiences. And all of these are fertile ground for luck to find you. You know, it's like signaling to the universe, I'm ready. I'm serious. I'm willing to meet you halfway. Okay? There's a story that came to mind just now, and I guess it's a little bit about action, but it's just, we're talking here, remember, we're talking about perception and projection. Pardon me, I drew a blank. We're talking about perception and projection. And I don't know, this story came to mind, and so I like to lean into my intuition, and maybe this is a good time to share it. So this is a story of a man and a fountain. And this man is struggling with his life circumstances. And, he would visit this fountain, and it had this beautiful statue, and he would visit it every day, and he would pray fervently, asking for his life to change, for his struggles to ease, and for a better future. And days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and months even turned into years of this man continuing to visit the fountain and praying with unwavering dedication. And one day, as this man was praying, the statue suddenly spoke to him, and the statue said, I have been watching you for a long time, and you have been coming here praying for your life to change. But have you ever stopped to consider that the change you seek is not in your circumstances, but in yourself? And then the statue continued, your prayers have been answered, but you haven't been paying attention. The answers were within you all along. You have the power to change your life, but you must first change yourself. And the man was taken aback. First, because the statue spoke to him. But he listened intently, and he realized that the statue was right, that he had been so focused on changing his external circumstances that he had neglected to examine his own thoughts and emotions and actions. And from that day forward, this man began to focus on personal growth and self-improvement, and he worked on cultivating a positive mindset, letting go of negative emotions, and taking deliberate actions toward his goals. And I love this story because it teaches us that true transformation begins within. And we often look to these external sources for change, but the power to create the life we desire really does lie within ourselves. And guys, when we focus on personal growth and self-awareness and intentional action and really make it a way of life, and we can create the changes that we seek. So look within. And trust that the answers that we seek, they're already within us. Silence the mind and the soul will speak. If you've not already listened to the Unlocking Potential Meditation in the Quantum Field episode, that one is a banger. Tune in. I'll tag it in the show notes. Meditation. Making me a little note here. Okay. So, there's one more thing that came to mind when I was telling you that story is another one that's, let me think about this. It's a Rumi quote, years ago, the beginning of my personal development journey, my journey of self, as I like to call it. A girlfriend sent this to me and I was like, oh, it stuck with me. So it's Rumi, and it says, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. You know, you want your outer world to change, you got to change your inner world. As above, so below, as within, so without. If you change your inner world, your outer world must change to reflect that. It's inevitable. There can be no other way. So, let's keep talking about luck. I'm feeling lucky. Let's keep talking about luck. So, when we think about, basically, I was just talking about how luck loves action takers, and I got off on my stories that I added in there. But bringing it back to luck loves action takers, and so you got to take action. Let the universe know I'm serious. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm willing to meet you halfway. I'm doing my part. I'm being who I need to be. It's not always about doing. You know, you're a human being, not a human doing. So there is this element of being in the moment. Accepting, radical acceptance of who you are in this moment. And then knowing, you know, who you are becoming. And now we're going to get into I love energy, frequency, vibrations. And energy is the frequency that attracts the lucky moments. So your energy, the way you feel, the vibration that you are emitting is constantly broadcasting a signal to the world around you. High vibrational energy fueled by gratitude and joy and openness and playfulness and excitement naturally draws in more things to be excited and grateful for. This is why people who seem lucky also seem light and happy and in flow. They're radiating the frequency of good things happen to me. And when you manage your energy, tending to your mindset, taking care of your body, nurturing your spirit, mind, body, soul, you become a magnet for the kinds of opportunities and relationships that others might label luck. That's okay. That's on them. If others label you, your lifestyle, your opportunities, your manifestations as luck, let them. Let them. That's a projection of what's going on for them. You know what you're doing. Look, if you are actually opened your phone, your computer, you logged onto your podcast platform, and you pushed play to listen to this podcast, then, my friend, I know that you're doing things, you're aligning your life in a way that, yes, things are going to happen for you that other people are going to be like, they're lucky. Let them say that. You're doing the work. You're showing up for yourself. You're aligning your life. Like if you're even listening to this sort of, I'm busting this goodness into your ears, this personal development, something to get you questioning some of your limiting beliefs and digging a little deeper and tapping into your full potential and becoming curious about your life and your choices and where you're headed and who you're becoming. And if you're spending 45 minutes of your week tuning in to listen to this, then yep, I hope something lucky happens for you. It's gonna, because this is how it's gonna, and it makes sense, right? Because your energy is the frequency that attracts those lucky moments. And when you manage your energy, again, your mind, body, spirit, and you become the magnet for these kinds of opportunities and the relationships and the things that other people might label as luck. And we said mind, body, soul. Let's talk about the mindset thing, because your beliefs shape what you're open to receiving. Hear that again. Your beliefs shape what you are open to receiving. So what you believe is possible for you determines how much luck you're willing to allow into your life. And if you go around thinking things never work out for me, you will likely miss the opportunities that are right in front of you. You may have tuned into the episode, and I shared this story before. Before I ever started my personal journey of self, back when I was the wearing busy like a badge of honor part of my life, and burnout and all of the things. And I used to say, it was like one of my catchphrases, that if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all. And I would speak it into existence. So it was like, not only was I unlucky, I had bad luck. I would say that. I would speak it into existence. I would tell people. I probably printed it on a shirt at some time. I did have a screen printing business. I don't know that I actually put it on a shirt, but I might have considered it, because that's how often I said it. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all. I would tell people that all the time. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all. And the power of words and everything like that, thoughts become things, words create worlds. And so your subconscious mind will never outperform your self-image. Your self-perception, the way that who you believe yourself to be, the subconscious mind will never outperform that. And your energy, and by the way, all I did was just continue to attract experiences in my life that always felt, or at least my perception of them was, that they were so unlucky. I have bad luck. This only happens to me. I have such bad luck. And so I really was not emitting those vibes of a high frequency energy. And so I was not attracting those, quote, lucky experiences. So again, if you what you believe is possible for you, that's going to determine how much luck you're willing to allow into your life. So when you cultivate this abundance mindset, a belief that good things are always flowing to you, then you open the floodgates to receiving them. One of my mantras these days is things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Heard Abraham Hicks say that years ago, and it's stuck with me ever since. So your mindset filters your reality. And by the way, things have been working out for me ever since. I mean, there's something to it. There's something to it, guys. So someone with a lucky mindset sees doors opening where others see walls. And part of being lucky is simply believing you can be. Speaking from someone who used to say, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all, to someone who now is like, I'm lucky. I'm in the right place at the right time. Things are always working out for me. And guys, guess what? My life reflects that. Things that happen to me, for me, in my life, yeah, it's reflective of that belief system that I now have. Now, I want to also, so we talked about, your mindset. I want to talk about relationships. And luck loves connection. And many of the luckiest moments in life happen through people. The right conversation, the unexpected introduction, the person who recommends you or recommends someone to you or shares an opportunity. You know, building, and just like I said, in the right place at the right time. You go somewhere and you just end up meeting someone, or there are two people there and you know both, but you're able to connect these people. And that ends up being a fruitful relationship for these people, personal, professional, for the community, on whatever scale that is. But like, you were able to facilitate that meeting and bring these people together. You know, building authentic relationships and surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire and support you is one of the fastest ways to get lucky. And look, this isn't about being transactional. It's really not. It's about being genuinely invested in others and creating a natural flow of reciprocity. And luck often travels through people. And when you're connected to the right tribe, doors that you didn't even know existed will open. And, you know, I'm going to give you an example. And this has happened to me in the past. And I aligned and I had traveled. I had gone out of town to go somewhere and ended up meeting someone there and connecting with someone there. And because of this connection, the right place, right time, lucky me, huh? What ended up happening was this opened a door. This one connection opened a door because then they introduced me to their world, their network, their entire everything that was already going on. I was invited in, inserted in, placed in, allowed in, received, right? All of these things. And so it was like, it seemed so lucky because suddenly this whole new world, all of these people, these opportunities, these networks within networks within networks, all of this stuff existed already. And it just took this one connection This one relationship that opened up just a whole world beyond it. And you never know when those opportunities are going to present themselves. You never know. And the thing is, there have been, on the flip side of that, opportunities or there have been things where someone has come back and said, hey, do you remember when you connected me with this person way back here when you introduced us and said, hey, you do a thing, you do a thing, you know a thing, you know a thing. Y'all, the two of y'all can come together. You remember that? Guess what? We did. And let me tell you what's happened ever since then. Let me tell you all the ways that me personally, us collectively have grown and expanded since then. And so, wow, to be able to give back and to be a conduit for those sorts of connections and to be open to those sorts of connections in your own life. And you got to put yourself out there. You got to take action, going back to what we said earlier. Luck loves action takers. And luck loves connection. So, yeah, luck does travel through people. So, connect to the right tribe. And again, these doors that you didn't even know existed are going to open for you. That reminds me, there's something I love that says, your name is being spoken in rooms your feet have not yet stepped into. You never know. You never know. So you got to trust and believe. Now, let's talk about curiosity and, openness to life's surprises. You got to be open. And luck often finds the curious and open-hearted. And if you approach life with this spirit of curiosity and adventure and willingness to try new things, a little spontaneity never hurt anybody, then you increase the chances of stumbling upon something wonderful. And people who are lucky tend to be the ones who say yes to invitations and explore new experiences and stay open to surprises. And the whole curiosity, and this is a theme, especially in coaching, talk about this a lot, curiosity. Awareness and curiosity are just two themes to keep coming back to. And curiosity allows you to step outside of your comfort zone because that is often where the magic happens. And the more open you are to life, the more life can surprise you in beautiful ways. Now, we do have to talk about resilience, though, and turning those challenges into opportunities because, I alluded to it earlier, my previous life of if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all. And so sometimes what looks like, quote, bad luck is actually a setup for something greater. And resilient people know how to turn obstacles into stepping stones. And others might look at that process and call it luck. But the truth is it's not luck. It's resilience and creativity and determination. And when you keep showing up, even when life is hard, you find unexpected blessings along the way. So in that way, I think resilience is kind of a secret ingredient in the recipe for luck because it turns setbacks into comebacks or setbacks into setups for something even greater. And if you did not catch last week's episode on overcoming setbacks and obstacles and disappointment and whatnot. That was a great episode, and that was just last week. Maybe this would be a good place to mention that one. Now, intuition, our trusting your inner guidance towards these lucky moments. So how many times has your intuition led you to the right place at the right time? Our gut instincts are often guiding us to those lucky breaks if we're willing to listen. And tuning into your intuition and trusting those subtle nudges can lead you to the people and the places and the experiences that feel magically aligned. And, many people dismiss their intuition. And I was one of them. What intuition? I was struggling to keep my head above water. I was in survival mode. I was not tapped in, tuned in, turned on to my intuition. Third eye open. Nope, that wasn't me. I was drinking like 2 energy drinks a day, not drinking any water, taking Adderall, depression medicine, anxiety medicine, chronic back pain. What are you even? No, I was not. So, and look, I just sometimes that's where you are in life. That's the season you're in, and I get it. And I've been there, is all I'm saying. And so I was not tapped into my intuition. What I'm telling you, though, is, and many people, myself included at that time in my life, many people dismiss their intuition. And as a result, they miss out on opportunities as a result. And the more you cultivate trust in your inner guidance, the more life seems to unfold in your favor. And that is a real form of magic, or that is a form of real magic. Okay? So, again, I want to encourage you to reframe bad luck and see the deeper wisdom in the hard moments. And, maybe tune into that last week's episode of the podcast. And now let's flip the conversation a bit. I want to go back to the bad luck again, but because we've all had these moments that felt like things were working against us. But what if those moments are part of the setup for something greater? Because sometimes we labeled this stuff as the bad luck, and actually, these things that we labeled as bad luck are redirects. They're lessons. They're opportunities to grow. And maybe the job that you didn't get led you or is leading you to something even better. And maybe the relationship that ended freed you to find deeper love. So instead of labeling experiences as a bad luck, what if we asked, well, what is the lesson or what is the gift in this? Also, when we shift out of a victim mindset, when we stop believing, that life is happening to us, and we start believing life is happening for us, we open ourselves up to new perspectives. So what if every experience is here to align you more deeply with your true path, even if it doesn't look or feel like it in the moment? And this perspective shift is powerful, and it's something that we can all choose when life feels tough. So, remember today is St. Patrick's Day. If you're listening to it today, that's when it drops. So, again, we're going to reflect on that St. Patrick's Day and inviting a little more luck into our lives. So, We're going to go beyond just the wearing green and chasing 4-leaf clovers, which if you did do that and you did find one, please tag me. I want to see it. And instead, I want to invite real intentional luck into our lives. Still, if you did that, that's okay. Send me a picture, tag me if you actually found a 4-leaf clover. That would be really cool. Because it's rare. They're rare. That's what makes it fun to find one. And that's what makes it lucky. Now, if you find one, that means you must be aligned, which means if you're aligned and you're in the energy of alignment, that would be a good time to do other things, and you may have similarly, quote, lucky results. Do you understand? Because you're aligned. That's all I'm saying. Alignment embodied. Now, so if we're going to invite real intentional luck into our lives, I'm going to tell you a few ways you can do that. So 1, align with what you want. Get clear on what it is you desire, who you're becoming, etc., and then take aligned action toward it. And consistent action. And then take inspired action. Show up. Say yes to opportunities. Try new things. And look, let me be clear. When I said say yes to opportunities, show up, that doesn't mean be a people pleaser. That doesn't mean have no boundaries. That doesn't mean overcommit. That doesn't mean say yes to things you really want to say no to. No, we want to have boundaries. And we want to be mindful and protect our energy and everything. However, lean in. Think about it. Maybe it's something you say yes to. Don't just autopilot say no. All right? Now, we also want to, number 3, cultivate high vibe energy. So take care of your mind and your body and your spirit so that you're vibrating at a frequency that attracts good things. Be mindful of what you consume. Food, what you listen to, what you watch, what you read. Move your body every single day. Move your body every single day. Walk, stretch, move. Read, journal, meditate. Be still. All right? Connect with nature. Don't complain or judge and talk about other people. Like, all of these are things you can do to cultivate high vibrational energy. Now, number 4, build meaningful connections. So surround yourself with people who support and uplift you, inspire you. Remember, because luck flows through relationships. And number 5, stay open and curious and be willing to explore and pivot and say yes when life surprises you. Now, what if this year, because we're still in Q1, we're still at the beginning of this year. So what if this year you became the person who creates their own luck? What if you lived as though good things are always flowing towards you and you took aligned action to meet them halfway? Remember, it's like sending a sign to the universe. I'm here, I'm serious, I'm ready, I'm willing to meet you halfway. Okay? That's what I want to leave you with today. You are powerful. You are magnetic. You are aligned with everything that's meant for you. And as we wrap up this St. Patrick's Day episode, I want to leave you with this thought too. What if you were already your own good luck charm? What if, instead of waiting for 4-leaf clovers or outside luck, You are the creator of your own aligned, abundant life. And by working with your energy and your mindset and your healing, you're just creating your most favorite life. And what if lucky people are just people who decided to align their inner and outer worlds? And now life reflects that. You, my friend, you are not excluded from magic, from abundance, from ease. And you're invited to create it every single day. That's what we're doing. So ask yourself, what are 3 small things you can do today to align your energy, your mindset, your actions with the life you want? So you no longer have to wait for luck. Maybe it's a belief to shift, like a limiting belief. Maybe you're going to shift a belief. And maybe you're going to set a boundary. Maybe you're going to have an inspired action that you take. Guys, your luck is waiting for you to claim it. You are lucky. You are your own lucky charm. You 100% are. And I'm excited for you. You lucky thing, you. I'll talk to you next week. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It. I hope today's episode sparked something powerful within you. Remember, every step you take towards your vision counts, no matter how small. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please take a second to hit that subscribe button or leave a review. That would be amazing. Or share the podcast with someone who's ready to bring their dreams into reality too. And if you're looking to dive deeper, connect with me on social media at Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It, or at BE_what you want. Or visit dreameditthenreallifedit.us for more resources on aligning your life, business, and dreams. Until next time, keep dreaming and keep manifesting your dreams into real life. Love you, friends.